So I want to thank you all for being patient with me the past 9 minutes and 39 seconds till we get to 2 p.m., which is we're going to start right now. Hello, my name is Bill, the knee pain guru, the best in the world at eliminating knee pain without drug shots or surgery. I'd like to welcome you to the formerly known as the Knees for Life Inner Circle. We are now going to be calling it the Platinum Group Call. This is a bi-weekly call every other week where we go over the members of the Platinum Group, their questions about their knee pain, give them guidance and support and encouragement so they can move forward and have the tools that they need to help them eliminate their knee pain. And what we use is my online knee pain clinic to provide that support. Those are videos that I've created over 7 years online to help my clients, the clients that I work with one-on-one individually. And those videos in there are, in my experience, over the past 8 years working online, as well as the past 15 years since I blew out my knee and had reconstructive surgery on the ligament in my knee. It's what I've used to help myself get out of pain and then help others get out of pain. So that's a resource for members to utilize. Now, if you are watching this and you aren't a member of the Platinum Group, then you definitely want to become a member, because you get that support, that guidance, and that help that many times you're kind of fumbling, trying to figure out, well, what do I do with my knees? Is my knee pain getting worse? Is it getting better? Am I moving in the right direction? So this is a avenue for which you can get that support and help. So there are a few things I want to go over before we dig into the calls, the questions, and ideally we will have some of our current members, our Platinum members or Diamond members, participate on the call today. If you are a Platinum member or a Diamond member or a former Knees for Life Inner Circle member, look in your inbox right now, and there should be a link that you'll click on, which will bring you right into the Hangout with me. And that's where we can work one-on-one. That's one of the advantages of being a member of the Platinum level or higher, is you have the opportunity to work with me one-on-one, like the Titanium level coaching clients are. And that's where they get that individualized support, zeroing in on exactly what you have going on with your knees and what are the highest leverage things you can do over the next couple of days to, one, set up the conditions to make sure your body can heal your knees, and two, learn which stretches are going to be get the pressure off of the nerves. And once we get those pressure off of the nerves that are causing the pain, the body just knows what to do. The body can heal itself. So that is what we're working with. There are a couple of things I want to go over, actually, some pretty entertaining things. I start out on my calls as I'm Bill, the knee pain guru, the best in the world at eliminating knee pain without drug shots or surgery. Well, do not say that to a physical therapy assistant. I happened, when someone asked me, who I am, and I shared that with them this past week, they raised quite a stink that, I didn't have certifications. And actually, I do have certifications. I've been in martial arts for 25 years. I'm certified as a martial arts instructor. I studied an osteopathically based style of body work, and I've been certified as a practitioner both in the United States and in Europe. I'm also an instructor of that style of body work as well, that I have certifications for, but I don't lead with that. I lead with results, and that's really what people care about. People are going to professionals with letters after their last name that they have certifications up the wazoo, and they've still been in pain for weeks and months and years. Some people even decades. I had a conversation with a gentleman this morning out of LA. He's been in pain for over 40 years, knee pain. And, so it's like the whole concept of certifications will lead to the credibility that leads to the results it isn't logical. So it's important whenever, and this is a great takeaway. When you're listening to someone speak about help for you, you're looking for help. Listen to how you feel. Is that person with that knowledge and understanding of what they're talking about, are they dissipating the fear or the tension in your body? Or are they increasing it? Are they giving you options to work with, or are they limiting your options? It's a huge component. And when I talk with people who are stuck with the conventional model in terms of how they can deal with their needs, what solutions do they have? They're limited to a few options, which are prescription drugs, pain-killing shots, or more surgery. And if they don't do that, they're going to do physical therapy. Well, that isn't really options. That's, giving people, it's going down this path that really isn't giving you any options that's worthwhile, that leads to a quality of life. And the options that I'm offering that I'd like to share with you is about giving you those options, those infinite number of options. How can we set up the conditions so your body can heal? And that can look like a lot of different ways. And how we can get the pressure off of the nerves in your knee. That can look like a lot of different ways. Both of them goes on the premise that your body can heal itself. And when we give the body the opportunity to heal itself and remove those blocks that are preventing it from doing so, it can just do that. It just heals. And most of the time, and I've said this before on previous calls like this, that most of the time it's not actually getting you out of pain that's taking the longest. It's getting your mind, your beliefs, your fears, your doubts and concerns on board with how fast your body can let go. So that's where we're at. So the physical therapy assistant, once again, is still a physical therapy assistant, and they're probably pretty frustrated with their job and all that because they got to take the orders from the physical therapist. Anyhow, okay. So enough with that. If you are in the Asheville area, and a few of you are, I am now offering the ability, when you sign up for the Platinum Group, your intro session. This is something that I'm still getting the bugs tweaked out online. But your intro session, where we go over your strategy moving forward, can either be remote or in person now here in Asheville. So you would come to my location of business and we would sit down. Tracy came on Wednesday and we worked individually with what she had going on. And we set up, her highest leverage passive stretches in the virtual clinic to help her get out of pain, to help her get the pressure off of the nerves in her knees, and set up the conditions so her body can heal itself. So look for that to be dialed in over the next week or so. We're going to have the options. So if you are in the Asheville area or you are within driving distance of the Asheville, North Carolina area, you can come and see me in person. We just got to get, like I said, I'm great getting people out of pain. The technology thing is, I'm still catching up with that. Also, if you're in the Asheville area, I've been teaching martial arts classes. We focus a lot on movement and breathing and relaxation. We're having classes 2 to 3 times a week right now. So if that's something you're interested in, then let's set up a time to talk. I can give you more details, but I won't go into belabor that point now. And we also have, I mentioned it a little bit before, but we're having new membership levels. So instead of it being you're either in the Knees for Life Inner Circle or you're not, you get help from me or kind of sort of in the emails. I'm going to be sending out lots of great information in the emails. You're generally on the list. Like earlier this week, I sent out about water, the original Gatorade, and then an email or a link that I got from my sister as far as nutritional and a nutritional approach to eliminate inflammation, global inflammation in the body. And when you free up that global inflammation, then your body has resources that it can heal what's going on in your knees. So if you're not on the list, go to the kneepainguru.com, get on the list, enter your first name and email address, and you'll be receiving those emails on a regular basis. So that is what I wanted to say about being on the list. We also have different membership levels. We're going from bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, and titanium. And all of those levels have different support functions and features. And those are going to be up on the website here shortly. I'm having a meeting with my team this evening, and we're going to go over to get all those glitches hashed out. I needed to bring people in because I wasn't the one to figure out the glitches. I'm not, that's not my area of expertise. So of course the titanium level, which is the top level, and that's working with me one-on-one. You have full access to, cell phone, we text, you get that support. I'm there all the time. And then, diamond is weekly conference calls. And then the platinum is what you're looking at right now. Members have the access to the online clinic. So when I talk about the specific passive stretches, then you're able to go to those specific videos and get that support. And then we'll get my phone shut off and get you that type of support because you have access to the online clinic. So that is that's kind of what I've been working on. Really great stuff. It's really exciting. A lot of things are happening, and I'm just really excited that I got the insight to be able to structure what I'm doing online to help and support more people, because the reward of giving people the ability, the gift of being able to walk again, being able to move again, to have their life back, that is just, it means a lot to me. So that is very cool. Okay, now we're going to get on to the Knees for Life the platinum level questions. And if you are a platinum level member, you can click on the link in your email, the link in your inbox that I just sent out probably around 1:15, 1:30 Eastern time. So that'll be in your inbox. You click on that, it'll bring you right into the Hangout with me, and we can work as if you were a titanium level member and work with you one-on-one on your knees. Okay, I'm going to share the screen here, and we are going to go to share my screen, and we're going to go to the questions. Let's see, inner circle questions. Okay, first question is, hi Bill, I recently went up for a challenge layup and came down wrong. My leg was straight and my knee buckled. I'm pretty sure I didn't hear a pop, but it feels like some sort of sprain. Elevated it, put ice on it. It's still pretty stiff. When I walk, it's not giving out. What's the best course of action from here? Many thanks, Daniel. Daniel, I want to hear that you've gone to the doctor and the doctor is saying that it's some sort of sprain. That's a huge distinction between you diagnosing yourself. And it also is important for me to understand what you have going on. So once we remove that variable that nothing is broken or torn, then we're going to be able to really get you the help that you need. In the meantime, we want to create comfort. That's the highest leverage thing. Ice is good. Your standard protocol, rest, ice, compression, elevation, your RICE therapy. But in terms of what we want to do, your best leverage next step is get a doctor's diagnosis. Once the doctor diagnoses that, then we can rock on this. We could really move forward. So that would be my insight for you. And many times, like I said, that is the biggest thing. And I know I had a lot of resistance to it. I had to dislocate my left knee 4 times before I actually went to the doctor. But if you could learn from my mistakes, please take that one. Go to the doctor, get your knee checked out, know what you're dealing with, and then we can really move forward once we know, once we have what's going on. Question here from Dave. Please help. I've had a marathon. I have a marathon in 3 months, and my iliotibial band is killing me. I've contacted therapy places and they're booked. I've watched some of your videos and wonder what I can do. Rolling and stretching doesn't seem to help. Any help would be greatly appreciated. Yeah, Dave, your highest leverage thing. Let's get into the online clinic. So you go to the virtual clinic, go to the stretching lounge, go to the passive stretching section. Make sure you watch the intro video. And then the biggest one for the IT band is going to be modules 1. On the lower end of the IT band where it attaches in your knee. And the best leverage for the higher part of the IT band is going to be module 23, passive stretching hips with tent. Now, for those that are maybe watching this that aren't members of the Platinum Group, these are not conventional stretches. These are stretches that are working with the neurology that is causing the IT band to be tight. So it's not just like a regular type of stretch that you would think. That's why I want you to watch the intro to the passive stretching. Do modules 1 and what was that? 23. And that's going to work with the IT band at the lower end where it attaches in the knee. It's going to work at the higher end where it attaches into the hip. And then I want to give you just one more. Module 42, the passive stretching the skin twist. And many times the IT band is tied in big with the fascial or the connective tissue tension patterns that are going on in the upper leg. And the skin twist is going to be able to help and support you with that. So once again, that's modules 1, 23, and 42. So Dave, give that one a shot. Let me know how that goes. Wrong one. And let's see how that helps you out. Let's see, question here from Diana. I've been watching some of your videos over the past few months and I am learning. I'd like to join on some of your web discussions, but I haven't set up Skype on my laptop. It's almost out of free space. I have a lot of hiking I'm doing in the Pacific Northwest in 2 months, and I can use some tips on getting and keeping my knees stronger. Diana, the strengthening of the joint, this is cool. You're going to like this. The area that you want to focus on is going to be in the virtual clinic. And then I want you to go to the Knee Strength Studio. Now, the Knee Strength Studio, there's some initial some audios there that I listened to. I'd put you initially doing this mobility series so you're going to start in the Knee Strength Studio module 7 through 19. And that is going to begin helping you get the body in alignment with itself. Now, the strengthening, muscles only initiate movement. So when you go to move, it's the muscles are what causes everything to happen. When the muscle fatigues, you're only left with tendons, ligaments, and fascia. When the tendons and ligaments and fascia are not strengthened properly, which means you got to get the muscles out of the way in order to strengthen the tendons, ligaments, and fascia, then you make the knee joint unstable. The joint won't be stable. It won't support you. So this is hugely important that when doing exercises, we got to sufficiently fatigue the muscles to get to get to the tendons and ligaments. Most exercises, though, people stop when they get the muscles out of the way. They stop working out because the body starts to shake, and that's the really difficult part. And what's most important with strengthening the tendons and ligaments. When people do work out, they're working out with weights, and that's very dangerous to try to strengthen the tendons and ligaments in the body using anything other than body weight exercises. So this is kind of a little bit of a negotiation that we got to do with our body in order to strengthen the tendons and ligaments in the joint. The biggest thing that I would do in addition to that, those modules 7 through 19, is I would also do 20, do the banded squats. That's going to help you tremendously in terms of building up the tendons and ligaments in the joint and get you what you're looking for. Oh, so definitely some tips. So the thing is to fatigue the muscles. You want to fatigue the muscles sufficiently, so then all you're doing is strengthening the joint. You're strengthening the tendons and ligaments in the joint, which means you have to use proper breathing when doing the exercises, so you're keeping the structure strong and using the breath as a way of keeping the nervous system relaxed while you're doing that. So get the muscles out of the way, sufficiently fatigue the muscles, and then you want to use breathing as a way to continue the exercise beyond the muscles being fatigued. And that's where you're really going to feel it in the joint. I was going to feel it everywhere in your body. But go ahead, give that a try. Let me know how it goes. You want to focus on body weight exercises, and that module 20 with that banded squat is going to be a big one for you. Okay, question here from Sammy. Hello, I've been just told I've got rheumatoid arthritis. My knee is triple the size it should be. I'm in so much pain and got no energy either. 3 weeks plus my knee's been like this. I'm 27 with 2 young children. Sammy. Okay, Sammy, write this down. It's called PEMF, Pulse Electromagnetic Field or Magnetic Frequency, PEMF. Go look for someone in your area who is giving sessions with a PEMF. And I think that's going to be the highest leverage thing to work with right now. I'd also work on getting the pressure off of the nerves. If you gave me some more information as far as how your knee is in pain, or is it bent? Is it straight? Are you standing? Are you sitting? So I can support you in terms of how we can get the pressure off of the nerves. I definitely look at Dr. Frank Charles's Ultimate Knee Pain Supplement List and begin working with the supplements that he suggests for arthritis. I think that would be helpful and beneficial for you. So that would be my strategy. One is go find someone who's offering PEMF sessions, pulse electromagnetic field sessions. The second one would be to get into Dr. Frank Charles's Ultimate Knee Pain Supplement List and work with the supplements that he suggests for arthritis. And then the third would be to send me more information as far as how your knee hurts, so then I could point you to someplace in the online knee pain clinic to help you with that. Okay. Question here from Joyce. I'm a 69-year-old woman who is active. I have a trainer at the gym and exercise 3 to 4 times a week. Last year, I developed pain in the back of my knee. As it persisted, I went to an orthopedic doctor. He said it was probably a meniscus tear that could heal by itself. Almost a year later, while doing step-ups in the gym, I heard and felt a tear and crumbled to the floor. This time, my orthopedic doctor ordered an MRI and showed it was a severe meniscus tear. He suggested surgery, which most likely would remove the whole meniscus in my right knee. In the meantime, he suggested rice and a cortisone shot. Both reduced the pain. Now my question is, should I have the surgery, or are there other viable treatments, exercise, strength, and flexibility training that will help? I have heard that the total removal of the meniscus can cause bone-on-bone, increased osteoarthritis, and more pain. What are my options besides surgery? Joyce, great question. This is strong, and this is what most people run into is, yes, there are other options. Dr. Frank Charles also has a list of supplements that will help the body heal the cartilage and meniscus. So I would look into that. I would also look at working with the tension patterns. If you give me an idea of how the knee hurts, we can work with the passive stretches in the online knee pain clinic to help get the pressure off of how that tear is, to create more space in the joint, simultaneously while we change your diet, reduce the inflammatory foods, and increase foods that promote the healing of inflammation in the body, as well as Dr. Charles's supplementation. I think you're going to see pretty decent results in a short period of time. Yeah, that would be my strategy if I were you in that place. And yeah, that would be the next 3 action steps I'd take. If we want to talk to me about it, we could get a time for us to chat and help you with what you got going on. Pallavi, hey Pallavi, one of the members. Yeah, she signed up. It was great. Pallavi's in India, so that was really awesome being able to connect with her again. It had been a few months. Okay, my knees have been overworked over a period of 8 years, and MRI shows patella issues, a little worn out cartilage, chondromalacia, but with your program, they have improved steadily. 2 weeks ago, I ended up walking on about a 3-inch heel for a very long time. I thought my knees would take the pressure, but they just collapsed the next day. Everything hurts in them and around them. I have been working on the passive stretches and found some relief, but can't figure out the exact problem with my knees. Here are some symptoms. When I squat, the kneecaps hurt when standing. After a walk of 30 minutes or so, the muscles just below the knee hurt. If I sit for a long time in a chair with feet touching floor, I see some swelling below the knee, and finally meniscus areas hurt sometimes. Right now I'm icing my knees twice a day apart from the stretches. Module 1 through 8B all work for me. However, I also get a feeling that I need to strengthen the area around my knees because there is a relapse when I push them. Can you please advise me how I could systematically strengthen my knees without injuring them? And also, how can I push myself in activities of better judgment? Thanks, Bill. You have been a blessing. Pallavi. Thank you, Pallavi. All right. Here we go. That's it. By the way, for all that are watching, that is a great question. Can you see how she put in there when it hurts? Let's see. Here are the symptoms. When I squat, the kneecap hurts. When standing, perfect. After a walk of 30 minutes or so, the muscles just below the knee hurt. Got it. If I sit a long time in a chair position with feet touching the floor, I see some swelling below the knee, and finally the meniscus area hurts sometimes. It's exactly what I need to be able to point her to the passive stretches or what's going to help in the online clinic, as well as what she's doing. So Pallavi, we spoke the other day about this, and we had agreed that we're going to hold off on the strengthening piece for the time being. We want to get your knees comfortable. And this is how we're going to do it. So when I squat, the kneecap hurts. So I want you to work with, this is in the stretching lounge. Passive stretching. Okay, so the kneecaps hurt. I want you to work with module 8 with the kneecaps. Okay, when I squat, the kneecap hurts. So I want you to work with your kneecaps with the legs straight. That's in module 8. After a walk of 30 minutes or so, the muscles just below the knee hurt. Okay, so then this is what I want you to do with the muscles just below the knee. I want you to do module 8B, the patella pull. I think that's going to help you with what you have going on there. I'd also like you to work with module 42, the skin twist. That's going to help with the muscles right below the knee. If you sit for a long time in a chair position with feet touching the floor, I see some swelling below the knee. So I'd like you to do module 1 in the passive stretching. So we had so far module 1, module 8 for the kneecap. We had the skin twist, which was module 42, and the patella pull, which was, where is that? Patella pull. Where is it? Okay. Whatever module I talked about. Watch the replay. Wait a minute. There it is. AB. The patella pull. And then the last one, the meniscus area hurts. Then I want you to do module 40. Module 40 is for your meniscus, passive stretching, meniscus stretch. So that's what we're going to do. We had module 40. We had module 42, the skin twist. We had module, oh boy. Yeah, just watch the replay. That's going to help you out there. But that should give you everything. And then, like I said, we'll touch base in a couple of weeks on our next platinum level call, and we'll go over all this and see where you're at. And if your knee pain is like systematically down, then we want to look at starting to get more movement into it. But if your knees in pain, this is really important for you, Pallavi, as well as anyone else watching this, is that if what you're doing is causing pain, it's not getting you out of pain faster. I know it's kind of like ridiculously simple. However, we got to get you out of pain before we start exercising, or at least reduce the pain. So go ahead and do that. Keep me posted, Pallavi. Thank you. I was cooking last week, from Kathy Nichols. I was cooking last week and I squatted down to get a pan out of the cabinet, and sharp burning pain shot down the left side of my knee on left leg. It was about big as a grapefruit. The weirdest pain I've ever felt, like liquid fire under my skin, and have been numb and burning ever since. Kathy Nichols. Kathy, we want to make sure you've gone to your doctor. That is going to be, that could be a torn meniscus. It could be. Like I said, I don't know. But we want to make sure what we're dealing with. But in terms of dealing with the meniscus, I'd work with module 40. That's going to be the meniscus stretch in the passive stretching section of the stretching lounge. Question number 8 from Sylvia. Last September, I had a fall from my step ladder, so I could not move, so called for an ambulance. After a 4th month, I had MRI showed a cartilage in 2 places, ACL plus meniscus. Eventually a keyhole operation 4 months ago. It's not that straightforward, as from childhood there's been a weakness in that leg and I fall a lot. Afterwards, I was given exercises that I have done to the best of my ability, and I have a bad limp. I use a stick. It's painful and disrupts my sleep. Last week, a foot doctor put my feet into molds which made them fit in my shoes. My general practitioner is going to send me back to my surgeon for a rethink before the 6-month cutoff. Got it. Okay, Sylvia, there's too many gaps here. I don't know. There's a ton of questions that come to my mind. I guess I need to get an idea of what you want, what the pain is like now, when does it hurt, what is the end result that you're really looking for. So there's like a lot of pieces here that are too missing for me to piece part it together to see how I can help you. So yeah, I'll put a link to in the notes here for a time to speak, and you can just sign that, click on that link and pick a time in my schedule, which by the way is getting pretty filled. So make sure you go ahead and do that fast. Okay. Where do we go? Barbara Kier. Thanks for the follow-up emails after speaking to you originally. I used Chinese medicine herbal patches. I also did physical therapy and still do the exercises. I am all better. No pain at all. I am now walking almost every day, mostly on the trail, so I'm very careful of rocks and roots. Barbara Kier. Okay. Well, great, Barbara. That's awesome to hear. Next question here is from Susan Nicola. Follow-up, I've been doing the 18 knee exercises and drinking water every day. The results are amazing unless I start skipping. Then my knee starts to remind me that this is a life change, not a quick fix. I deliver the mail 5 days a week, so my knees get twisted and abused each day. Without your help, I would not even be walking. Wow, that's awesome. You took me from crutches back to working full time. I forgot my knee ever hurt until I start neglecting it. Then it gently but firmly starts to remind me to get back to work on my exercises. Thank you, Bill. Susan Nicola. Susan, thank you so much for that. Okay, and that is the last one we have. So I'm going to go back over to the Google Hangout. Let's see, I got to stop sharing the screen here. I think we're good. Okay, I am back. So you get an idea of how this program works. It's very simple. This is not complicated stuff. It's just not easy. And that's a trick. Simple things are generally not easy. And I use the example in my martial arts class of meditation. Meditation's simple. It doesn't get much simpler than that. All you got to do is sit there and breathe and focus on nothing. And people can make an entire practice out of it, their entire life. And they still aren't perfect at meditating. So it's the same thing with your knee pain. Getting out of knee pain is simple. You get the mindset right. Got to get your head in the game so you can play. You look at water, nutrition, and breathing as a way to set up the conditions so your body can heal what's going on. And then you get the pressure off of the nerves. Simple, very easy. I'm sorry, it's simple, it's just not easy. And that's because we're forced to feel what's going on. We've spent most of our life like ignoring the pain that's building up, ignoring the pain, the tension, the discomfort that builds up in the body. And what ends up happening is the body goes, it's like knocking on the door. It's going, hey, pay attention. And then we ignore it because we suck it up. We push through the pain, no gain, just do it. We have all these things in our mind from society, our family, our friends, that we ignore it. And it's how our nervous system is hardwired. When we go into that fight or flight state, when we experience pain, it numbs the experience. It's like going into shock. The body numbs the experience. And what's happened now with your knees is it's gotten to such a level where the body can't ignore it anymore. Finally, it's saying, if you don't pay attention to this, you don't deal with this, I'm going to make your life friggin' miserable. And that's what it does. It did it to me. It'll do it to you. It'll do it to those that you love. That's how it works. So the goal is mindset, water, nutrition, breathing, and comfort to set up the conditions so your body can heal. Once we get the pressure off of those nerves, the body, all the blocks are out of the way, and the body just heals. So you can see from the people that gave, the feedback, the input. And I get emails like this every day from people who follow the program. Okay, so we didn't get anybody. I'll have to check with everyone to make sure the links are going out okay and we're not running into any glitches on that. Let's see. Okay, here's a question from Celia. Here's some other questions that came in. We gotta still work out the bugs in this. You have a diamond level membership, but I'm not able to go to the knee strength studio. I'm going to make note of that. Yes, you have access to that, Celia. So I'm not quite sure why that's not working, but I'm having that call at 5 and we'll get all that worked out. So I'll make a note here. Okay. Also, from being pretty much immobilized, my leg muscles are quite gone. Actually, I read the terms. I read that in the terms of supplements, glucosamine sulfate helps the cartilage. What can you advise on this? I believe glucosamine can help the cartilage. However, if we don't change the pattern, then there's no space in the joint for the glucosamine to be able to do anything. So that's really a big piece. You think of it like a car that has a bent frame. The tires are going to wear in a certain pattern. And if we don't change that pattern in the tires, then the tires are new. You buy new tires, the tires are going to wear in a certain way. So that's what we really got to address is the pattern in the joint. The passive stretches address the pattern in the joint that create the space so the body can begin to heal. Okay, question here. Thanks, Bill. I feel better. The exercises are helping. Thank you much. I was diagnosed with knee valgus. Can you help? Thank you in advance for any assistance. God bless. Thank you so much. Okay. The knee valgus, the diagnosis isn't nearly as important as how the knee hurts. You remember Pallavi and how she gave okay, when the knee's bent and I'm standing, or when I'm sitting and it bothers me, or when I'm going upstairs, it's the foot on the lower step that bothers me, like when I push off and it hurts in the back of the knee. That's the type of feedback I need, kind of like a little kid. It's like, I go to my daughter, where does it hurt? And she'll point to it. She'll point to where she fell and where she hurt her arm or her knee or whatever it is. And this is the thinking and the mentality we have to have of getting out of the idea that the diagnosis is going to tell us exactly where it hurts. And then we point to exactly where it hurts. Like if I look at my kneecap, my right knee, it's just to the right below the knee. That's going to give me an indication of how that is, how that works. Is that making that needs to make sense here, because we can't overcomplicate it. A diagnosis is not going to tell me how your knee is going to feel good. So this is an important piece in the program. Okay. Damage from ligaments, had arthroscopic surgery, now going through some physiotherapy sessions. Regrettably, I'm in Portugal, and this is the only way. It's not the only way, because you have the platinum level. You have the online knee pain clinic as a resource, so you can get help and support. And that's why we start with the mindset that the best way you can get support is only in person. Okay. Question here. Hi, Bill. I'm new here, 62 years old. Last year I broke my right leg, and this year the left leg, due to probably having to use it in order to save the broken leg. Conclusion, my knee subsided. I fell, broke ribs, chopped off a bit of the femur near the knee joint, ruptured meniscus. Oh, wow. Hold on a second here. Can I do it? Okay, I guess I'm broadcasting this right now. How cool is that? Hello, I'm new here. I'm 62 years old. Last year I broke my right leg. This year the left knee, due to probably having to use it in order to save the broken leg. Conclusion, knee subsided. I fell, broke ribs, chipped off a bit of the femur near the knee joint, ruptured the meniscus, and I don't see the rest of the question. So if there's more, we probably need to have a conversation. There is, I think, a lot more going on there than what meets the eye. So I think working with me one-on-one is probably going to be your best bet, because we're getting some details that are not, they're not standard. You know, it's not like you had an arthroscopy or something like that. So I don't have a name here, but I will put a link in there to get you some help and support. Okay. Let's see. Dear Bill, can you please give advice on how to strengthen the knee? LCO appears to be weak and had some water surrounding it. Is bicycle a good idea? I wish to make it strong so I could play basketball and American football. Thank you. Greetings from Croatia, Luca. Yes, bicycle is good, but we want to make sure when you're doing the bicycle, you want to have the RPMs up high, the revolutions per minute. You want to have them 80 to 120. I rode a bicycle across the country several years ago. Actually, it's 2001. It's more than several. But the big piece is that when you're pedaling, you want not to stress the joint so much. And when you're going to fatigue the muscles in the legs, and then you're working on the tendons and ligaments in there. But before you do that, you want to make sure the neurology. Here, I'll broadcast this question. Okay. When you exercise like that, you want to make sure the neurology is good first. So it's like if there's a pattern going on causing pain in the knee that's making the LCL weak, and the water, it has some water surrounding it, and we don't change the pattern in the knee, and then we go push it with exercise, now we're exercising with the dysfunction in the knee. So we just cause the knee to wear more. This is why so many people, you know, they have pain. They're told to go to physical therapy to strengthen the muscles in the legs. They're not addressing the neurological pattern to begin with, so the knee joint wears faster. And they get arthritis, bone on bone. They're a perfect candidate for knee replacement surgery. Now, it was like the guy I was talking to this morning, 50 years old. Can you imagine? Bone on bone, 50 years old. That was like, reminds me of this Irish guy I worked with, 32 years old, bone on bone. You know, it's like it happens if we don't have the neurology right in the body. The joint just wears. So that's something that you definitely want to look at. You don't want to take that lightly and just go ahead and exercise just for the sake of exercising. yeah, if you're just exercising and you're creating more of a dysfunction, then, well, it's just going to degenerate faster. That's, that's like a logical thing. Anyways, how do I get into the clinic? I will put a link on there. We're going to get these things set up. Like I said, the website is, don't look at my website. Don't judge me for my website right now. We're going to get that organized. My team's going to get that organized in a way where it's intuitive, it's easy. Click here to join, that kind of deal. And yeah, so that's gonna, I'll put links in the description of it, and it'll go out. The replay is going to go out tomorrow. Okay, question here. I'm doing the Roman chair exercise, which looks like it helps me the most. I'm not sure how long I should do it. I believe you mentioned 30 to 60 seconds. Should I be targeting for a longer period of time, or is it not like the long, or it's not like the longer the better? Yeah, a lot of times less is more. You just want to challenge the joint. You don't want to be abusive to your body as a result of it. But once again, like I was telling Luca, we want to make sure the neurology is good so that you're not just strengthening the dysfunction. If you're doing the Roman chair, it makes your knees feel better, but then after a period of time, your knees start hurting again. That's because the neurology isn't lined up. You want your knees to be comfortable when they're relaxed, not when they're not when they're in a tense state. And that's what happens. A lot of people feel better when they're exercising, and when they're not exercising, their joints hurt. We need to make sure you feel good all the time, and that's a huge distinction. Okay, Rilma, what exercise do you suggest to straighten the knee? That would be in the passive stretching. Ooh, Rilma. Hello, Bill. I started doing the exercises 2 days ago and already feel better than in months. That is, yes. Okay. What exercise would you suggest to straighten the knee? Okay, I want you to do in the stretching lounge, the passive stretching section. The stretching lounge, the passive stretching section. I want you to do module 2, which is going to be the forward back motion of the knee. And module 2, and I want you to do in addition module 22. Module 2 and 22, and let's see how that begins to change what's going on in there. Because we have a pattern that's going down from the lower back, that's into the hips, that's going down into the knees. So straightening the knee is not only a function of working with the joint, it's also working with the hips and the lower back. Relax the tension in the hips and the lower back, relax the tension in the knee, and then the leg can begin to fully straighten out. So I would work with module 2. And what was the other one that I gave? 22, 2 and 22. Start working with that, and then let's touch base in a couple of weeks. Let's touch base in a couple of weeks to see where we're at on the next Google Hangout here. If you are a member, you're a platinum member, and you want more support, we could bump you up to diamond or titanium level to get that faster results in a shorter period of time. We could totally do that. Just want you to know I'm here to support you. This is what we're working with on the platinum level. So I think all of the questions have been answered. So I am going to wrap it up for today. I want to thank you so much for being on the call. It's really exciting to see people getting results and their life changing because we focus on those 3 principles: mindset, set up the foundation with water, nutrition, and breathing, and then create comfort in the knee. And then the body just heals. So thank you so much. The next Google Hangout is going to be, I think we're going to bump a week. Let's see. It is going to be the week of August. It'll be August 13th. That'll be the next Knees for Life Inner Circle. So I want to thank you so much for being on the call today. It's really an honor to be able to be of service like this. It actually really warms my heart to be able to see the changes that take place. So it improves your quality of life. So thank you so much. Share this information with your friends because it needs to get out there. There's a lot of people suffering needlessly. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll talk soon.